Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at commaik. Today I want to show you how to quickly and easily build a lawn robot garage for little money, how I proceed with it and which material I am using. Stay tuned, I will show it to you shortly. You see here my lawn robot, my Gardena Sileno, the lawn robot. Was still in its own garage until the autumn of last year. Unfortunately, it was destroyed when a large tree fell here. You can see that. The remaining parts, including the gabions, have also been damaged. That also needs to be repaired. Now in March 2020, the new season begins, and I want to get the lawn robot back in shape. I have already repaired the damaged cables. Now it is in the process of being time to repair the robot garage as well. I bought a complete set for this, and I will now assemble it and take you along for the opportunity. The whole thing is delivered in a box. This robot garage, you can see the size here. I think I can see quite well 78 centimeters by 84 centimeters in the base dimensions, at a height of 60 centimeters. The entrance is, at least for the Gardena Sileno, is completely sufficient. The new lawn robots are even better. A little smaller, that there are even fewer problems. I have used this model in the last few years before it, then was damaged by this fallen tree. Currently in March 2020, the garage costs 42 euros. I will provide you with the appropriate link. Of course, down in the description. I will just unpack everything now to check if the goods are also arrived undamaged. You see, with this model, it's not that difficult. A lot of work is necessary, since most of it has already been prepared. We have the side panels here, which are currently in place, and these are designed to be very securely attached with staples. They are already pre-drilled, as you can clearly and easily see. Another side panel, which is indeed actually the back side. Everything is indeed quite very relatively simple and straightforward. I had already used this model for approximately 2 to 3 years. The robot was perfectly protected with the garage, a small sign. There is something about that. It comes over the driveway. This is now a bit burnt. To intentionally add a bit of aesthetics, that was in the previous model, was not like that. Then we also have the cover edge for the roof, which is part of the supporting structure, and another brace. A screw set is included, along with a comprehensive, detailed, and easy-to-follow illustrated instruction manual that guides you through the process step by step, ensuring a smooth assembly experience. None languages on it, but I can promise you that this garage there is no instruction. It's more or less all self-explanatory. I'm just going to make some space now, and then we'll set everything up. Quickly just put together. I have the individual parts now, just taken out of the box and laid out like this. Will be installed later. You can see that everything is quite clear and organized. There isn't much accessory. The two side parts on the left and right. With this model, I have to say that for the price of 42 euros, you shouldn't expect that. Here, flawless premium wood is delivered. There are just knot points and similar to see, but basically I have to say the quality is really very good. This is just an optical thing. You have it, back part there. Pay attention when laying it out. You have here pre-drilled spots, as seen here and there. The whole thing will be later, then set up and screwed to the back wall. Whether the whole thing now, which way it stands doesn't matter, because this part is absolutely identical to the other side panel. When assembling, you just need to pay attention to the pre-drilled holes. Furthermore, for the roof once, for the front side and for the back side, the gable surfaces. Here you should be sure to pay attention to this from the start. The quality does not meet your hopes. Corresponds. Here there is indeed more color in it. Here it is rather monochromatic, to lay everything out properly. That I will place here on the back goes to the front. It just looks a little bit nicer. Slightly. That's a matter of taste. Functionally, it works well. No difference. Furthermore, I have here still the two roof surfaces unpacked. These are covered with roofing felt, with sandpaper, coated and stapled. The whole thing, which is actually essentially constructed from particle board, or even pressed wood board, is made. It holds and it is tight. But you can also see these areas here. These will be addressed later. Exposed just like this triangular cover strip here on top, which is exactly like this. At first I had a few little concerns. Wondered whether the whole thing would withstand the weather, since the garage is also should stand here in winter for several years, and to simply provide a remedy for that. Create to protect this wood here. That's just spruce, right? Any softwood? Then comes a little trick for carrying. Namely, such repair tape, such tar tape indeed. That will come afterwards. To protect this wood in the end, and ensure its safety. That's all there is to it. Everything else you need additionally is a cordless screwdriver with the appropriate bit. In my case, the PZ2 actually fit really quite well for these screws. Now let's get to the assembly. For the assembly there is also a pack of screws included with 3 different sizes. 3x16, 6 pieces, 3.5x 30, 10 pieces and 8 pieces again. 3.5x 40 millimeters. The large screws, the force emitter screws, they are intended to build these side parts together. This is also relatively clear from the instructions. Then it is labeled with A, B and C. With that, let's get started right away. We're just going to screw now. Now assemble the side parts together. Ultimately, these parts are simply connected together like this, and then by literally screwed from the side. This whole thing is a bit exciting for me right now, since I am simultaneously. You have to guide the camera, but you see it is relatively robust and stable. This screw right here then exactly ends precisely here in this bracket. Just press everything together firmly. When using the battery screwdriver, make sure that you do everything now. Do not force the screw in. Pre-drilling is advisable, but it is in this case not necessary at all, because the wood is indeed comparatively soft, and in the whole garages that I have already assembled, not a single time has there ever been even the slightest crack or fracture. This is already the very first page of the document, and it is quite remarkable. The entire structure from beginning to end has maintained its integrity and strength without any signs of weakness or damage. This consistency and reliability are truly impressive and noteworthy. Turned around. You now have the wood here, and here are the pre-drilled holes, which you can see. You are now exactly right here. The word again like this. Then with the force emitter precisely, screws that are provided simply go into the pre-drilled holes. Pressed together quite well. You can also grip it from the back quite easily. That's fine. And the second screw and thus, the body of the garage is already finished. You see, that was relatively easy. Large dimensions, this means the basic framework is already finished, and in the next step, the roof will be screwed together. I have already laid out the 2 roof sections here. There is now no front and no back, which you should pay attention to, as I will turn the whole thing around. Now here again, you can see on one side the roofing felt closes here, flush precisely at the top and exactly at the same time, indeed in a very precise manner. These particular edges right here are carefully beveled. On the other side, the roofing felt extends a bit over so that the water can later drip here. Where the felt extends, there is the outer edge. I am now carefully arranging everything so that the inner edge bump against each other, and pay attention to the fact that down here and up there the edges are to stand in relation to each other. The goal now is to put the whole thing together, to get it together at a 45-degree angle, and down here the front side should be exactly flush. I already looked earlier. On the other side at the top, I have now a difference of about 2-3 millimeters. The boards are now overall not absolutely identical. As mentioned, for 42 euros I'm not going to complain about it now. What's important for me is the front side, and I would like to have that fitting in the visible area. That's why I pay attention to the connection here at the front. At the same time, the first gable is now being used. These are the parts. They already have a stop edge at the back. Attached are also pre-drilled, and these will now be secured with. These edge joints are attached from the front. The gable is aligned with the edge. then flush up here, and here there is just a little space. I have thought about this. I have already laid it out like this at the front, and I have raised it this high. You can tell when it fits together. And then I thought to myself, just set a mark over here so that I know later how far I need to place this gable here. The whole thing will then look like this. Here, everything is then absolutely and completely secured with the 30mm screws. This is the medium size option that you have chosen. In this case, you should also make sure to carefully position the screws in the designated spots to ensure everything is securely fastened and properly aligned. Always hold against it nicely and with gentle, careful attention to detail. At this point in the process, the entire assembly, which has been carefully constructed and put together, is gently and carefully lifted upwards from this specific location right here, ensuring that all components remain intact and properly aligned during the lifting procedure. I absolutely want it to be flush at the front now. That makes it a bit more difficult because my substrate I am doing this here on the terrace is of course very rough, so everything is a bit stuck. At this moment, I can confidently say that there is absolutely no chance whatsoever that I will be able to get this matter sealed, not even by 1000%. The odds are completely against me. The stop strips that are lying back here are not quite perfect, are coordinated with each other. Just one single screw on the side, then that simply holds everything already. And now, let us proceed with the second screw. Now carefully. The nice thing is, when you simply press the screw in firmly with your thumb, the wood is so soft that it already grips the whole thing entirely. Now the whole process continues on the process entirely. On the other side of the construction, we have successfully secured the roof to the gable using screws. This step is crucial in ensuring the stability and durability of the structure. Now, I am in the process of turning the next component into place, which requires careful alignment and precision to ensure everything fits together perfectly. This meticulous attention to detail is what guarantees the overall integrity of the building. Now turn it all around. Then you will see from above. Really perfect. It's not flush at all. Up here it's still open. Then this cover strip, which is essentially important, comes into play in the process. It is most likely indeed applied here. Then the small screws, along with additional components, come into play. The 3 to 6 mm screws such as have now restored the corpus. There is nothing further at this point. For the front stabilization, there is this additional strip that it is carefully milled in at the back so that this process directly here simply takes exactly on this edge. And there is just one thing to note. This is also mentioned in the description. Not clearly visible because the images are not precise enough. To turn it all so that the outer screws are on top, the pre-drilled holes. This means that these screws here are placed directly at the top here in this. The wood goes in. The lower screw then goes into this wood. The whole thing should be flush with the edge here. If the whole thing had been done the other way around, or if you screw it in the other way, then it is such that the pre-drilled hole is indeed, it goes in here. But if I make the whole thing flush here now, above, I have that this pre-drilled hole is located just below on the back. Please note that that wouldn't work. So please pay attention carefully to the upper holes to have outside. The whole thing will now be done again secured with the large screws using the 40mm screws. Very carefully and securely screw the whole thing flush with the top edge, ensuring it is perfectly and precisely aligned. As you can clearly observe, you see I am not pre-drilling. The wood is extremely soft and very easy to work with. It holds and does not tear. Before I now the lower, I carefully place the screw to get everything level. First on the other side of the riverbank just across, since my substrate here is perfectly level. As you can see, everything must necessarily fit. Now, I will carefully take the screw and position it precisely in the designated spot down here. This is an important step to ensure everything is securely fastened. I will also repeat this process for another screw in a similar location down here, making sure both are tightly secured to maintain stability and prevent any potential issues in the future. Now the whole thing is already relatively stable. A diagonal brace is missing here to really balance it out so that nothing could happen here at all. But this garage is only set up once. It will stay there. The robot also has no contact with the garage. That something could indeed happen here. We are approaching the end of the assembly. I have now laid out the roof again. That's basically already finished. But I had it earlier. I mentioned that I have something special planned with this bitumen sealing tape. This bitumen sealing tape is really very sticky. Tar or bitumen is applied here to a strong additional protective adhesive layer. I will additionally and carefully place this tape securely over these wooden strips. Bring it over. I bought this bitumen sealing tape at a discount store bought for just under €4 or €5 in a 10-meter roll. It is 10 mech 7.5 centimeters in size. It's absolutely, definitely and indeed worth his money. I'm starting now. To cover these sides here and then, at the end, to completely and thoroughly cover this edge at the top. In order. I think it is good for the wood, because then no moisture can come from above. But you must be clear about it. This tape becomes soft when the sun shines on it or when it gets warm, really very soft. In extreme sunlight it may also warp and then hang into the visible area. It doesn't drip, but it hangs in there. If you have high-tech premium garage, where a corresponding, if appearance is important, it may not be the optimal solution. But for the purposes, the one I have here is more than enough. For processing, very simple. I simply hold it up to this in terms of length, let it protrude just a little, and then with the utility knife, with its sharp and precise blade, effortlessly slices through materials with ease and efficiency. This particular tape product is specifically designed with a special feature on its backside, which is an adhesive layer or a film that allows it to stick securely to various surfaces when applied. You shouldn't touch it anymore now. It really sticks very strongly. The entire process is now being applied here, where it is carefully positioned and pressed in. This involves ensuring that every component is aligned correctly and securely set in place. The application is done with precision, guaranteeing that the desired outcome. The outside temperatures here This video is being filmed at just under 10 degrees. That means the whole thing is now very inflexible. You can see that when I press down here it pops back up, but that doesn't matter. As soon as it gets warm, just by its own weight, this bitumen sealing tape becomes soft and easily wraps around the corners effectively, then runs into this cardboard layer so that everything is sealed. You don't really need to just be concerned about that. It will simply happen automatically when it gets warm, but it is indeed definitely really quite absolutely too cold for that today. I have already carefully taped the sides now and have ensured that all edges are properly sealed and securely in the process of having the leaded overlap generously at the top on both sides. Now the two longer pieces which are essential go here, right in the middle. Let the whole thing stand here briefly. Then comes a second layer that then stands just above here. Any rain, any water. What comes from above, I also have the pool area right here. Behind it, where water could splash over, lands on top, then beads off this surface and can then rest, drip very slowly and steadily. As you can clearly observe, it really adheres extremely well. If you do this in the summer, or the temperatures are simply higher, it is very soft and pliable. However, it sticks even more extremely. Then you get your fingers all covered with this bitumen, and sticky, messy, and hard to clean when the temperatures are too cold, and you find yourself in a situation where you are terrified and deeply concerned that it simply and undoubtedly won't hold. Is there possibly a way to help with that? If the sun doesn't do it, just use a Bunsen burner or something similar, for example a flamethrower, those things with which that can effectively destroy the weeds. In addition to this, we can observe that it is positioned over the central area right here, maintaining its alignment. And so the whole entire area is protected. As you can see, in fact, I have... Now the garage, the body, has already been securely and precisely placed in the position where later it will remain. The lawn robot is already inside. In terms of space, everything is fine, sufficient. And now comes the final, in which I just place the roof on top. It will simply be laid on. As you can clearly see, the new and improved roof has now been successfully installed. Up here at the edges, it holds right here, securely and firmly in place, and remains steadily. The dimensions of the roof correspond exactly to the internal dimensions of the body, so that it holds in right here. And you can see here now this high-quality bitumen tape. Visually, it's not the highlight, but it's functional, durable, reliable, versatile, adaptable, and efficient. Furthermore, you now see and completely, thoroughly, and entirely understand the situation. Here, the drip edge is very nice. The cardboard here is noticeably longer, so that the water can drip off here, in order to safely and effectively and completely bypass the wood. All that the garage still needs is perhaps, maybe if you like, possibly, the very careful and secure attachment of this nameplate. It will then be done very carefully and properly with 2 screws attached here at the front, ensuring utmost stability. I have now sent the lawn robot to park mode, which means it is now navigating along the control cable. The lawn robot was stored away all winter. By the way, the battery was, as a matter of fact, completely full at this time last year. This time already down to 75%. This is indeed when the lifespan of the battery becomes noticeable. In my opinion, I believe that the current appearance and overall design look quite good and satisfactory. It seems to meet the expectations and requirements we had in mind, and I am pleased with how it has turned out. Yes, it's in